Are you looking for ideas for organizing your outdoor storage? Well, that's what I'm fixing to show you. Hey y'all, I'm Dawn and this is Younger Every Day. So basically we bought a fifth wheel, sold almost everything we have in Texas, packed up the kids and the dog and headed west. Now Cole's going to school and we're loving this crazy life. On this channel we do product reviews, take you on amazing adventures, and share tips and tricks for RV living, just like this one. So go ahead and click subscribe to join the Younger gang, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss out on any of the fun. And I hope you check out some of our other videos right over here. Welcome to Tip Tuesday. Every Tuesday we share tips and tricks for RV living that'll help you on your RV adventure. Today we're continuing our series on organizing our RV. First we're showing you all the things that we've done to set up our RV to live in for the past almost 2 years. And later we'll be adding new things as we make improvements to our organization process. But we've had several people ask us how we do it, so we want to show you. Today I'm going to be showing you the way that we store things in our outdoor storage. So we have 3 main compartments in the outdoors, and I'm going to show those to you and show you what we put in there, how we get it all organized, just to give you some ideas of what you might want to do. This first one I'm going to show you isn't actually intended to be general storage. It's supposed to be storage for an extra propane tank. So let me show you where our main propane tanks are. So this is the main storage compartment for our propane tanks. Try not to hit my head on the slide. As you can see, in here we already have storage for 2 propane tanks, and we haven't really found the need for a third one. Maybe it's because we don't like the cold and don't go places very often where you would need a lot of propane for your heat, or maybe it's because we don't boondock very often, and so we can get our tanks refilled however often we need to. But whatever the case, we haven't really needed a third propane tank, so instead I'll show you what we did with it. This front storage apparently is where we store Ray's son. Hi. So this right here is the storage for our 3rd propane tank, if we had one. But since we don't feel a need for one, we store other things in there instead. So let me show you. We have put in these 3 command hooks. And since this is supposed to hold a propane tank, the bottom is not flat. So to fix that, we came up with this super high-tech solution of taking an old, unused magazine holder and folding it up and sticking it in the bottom. That keeps our stuff from falling through. So that's what we've got there. Now let me show you as I load the cabinet up with the things we usually have in there. So first is the plaster of Paris for some science experiments. Our Thule adapters for putting the girl bikes on the bike rack. Our handy dandy collapsible bucket. Connor's skateboarding pads. Connor's skateboard helmet and bike helmet. I don't know what the difference is, but apparently there is one. And the girls' bike helmets. That's what the command strips are for. We put Ansley's on the door where it's easiest to reach. Haley's in the back because it's the biggest and that's the biggest space. And Kenzie's on the side because it's the other one. And that's it. An easy place for the kids to keep their bike helmets and a couple other things. Works really well for us. Let's move on to the next one, which is our front storage, which we use for our library. So our second outdoor storage area is right here under the front of the RV. Let me open it up and I'll give you a look at that. So this is our library. As you can tell, I'm kind of a little kid book nut. So we have a lot of books. Cole built some shelving for me right here. He put in some nice drawers for me. I'm still working on getting this all organized exactly the way that I want, but for right now it works for us. Over on this side is actually where our battery is. You can see it right back there. Up here is where the generator would go if ours had come with one, which it did not. So we use it for book storage instead. So there's not a whole lot to show besides our lovely book collection. I'm working on getting it all organized with my labels and everything. So it's not as organized and labeled as I would like it to be, but we'll get there eventually. Right now, it works. So this last compartment is actually our biggest outdoor compartment. It goes all the way from this side straight through to the other. So if you've been with us for a little while or you've seen some of our other videos, you may have already seen the inside of this storage because a little while back we had a flood. And Cole had to empty this out and dry it all out and put it all back in, but he didn't show you how we organize it, and so that's what I'm going to do today. If you haven't seen that other video and would like to see how we flooded our RV, you can click right up here to see that video. But right now I'm gonna show you all the different things we have in here and how you make them fit. So basically what we have in there are tools, some sports equipment, fun outdoorsy type stuff, a lot of homeschool stuff because I homeschool our 4 kids and do a lot of dramatic play, and we also do a lot of art, which is one of my favorite things. So we've got a lot of school supplies. Let me show you what there is in there as far as organization, and then I'll show you how we use it. We've got a nice little light, our vacuum cleaner. We've got an outlet right there. That's a broken strut. We will be putting up the video on how to fix that soon. We've got another outlet here, cable and satellite hookups. Right here we've also got a drawer. See if I can do this one-handed. That's a lot easier with 2 hands. I'm assuming that drawer is supposed to be for like tools or something. I'll show you what we use it for in just a minute. Now let's see what there is on the other side. On this side, of course, we've got our hookups for the water. We got a paper towel holder, another light, another outlet, our inverter, and a hook. I think that one probably is intended for cords and stuff like that. We use it for our hoses, and I'll show you how we put those on in just a moment. So I'm about to load this back up, and I'll show you exactly what I put in there. First, in the little toolbox, or whatever this is, we put our nice little kit of cleaning supplies. And the straps and covers that go on the recliners when we move. We also put our replacement vacuum bags and a couple little other odds and ends. That just makes it really easy to find those things that we need all the time, every time we move. Next will be Haley's gymnastics mat and balance beam. She's our little gymnastics girl, and she wouldn't be very happy if we went anywhere without those. So those things go right up against this wall with some fishing poles on top of them because it works. I do actually have some fantastic ideas for redoing this at some point, so be sure to keep watching this series as I make improvements and put new organizing strategies into place. I have some really fun ones for the fishing poles. So one of the main ways that we organize our basement storage is with these big black and yellow tubs I'm sure you've seen all over the place, and they are fantastic. They're rugged, have room for a bunch of stuff, stack easily, so that's one of the things that we use. We have 3 of these in our basement right now. And I'll show you what we got in this one. And here we've got our snorkeling gear. We've also got some outdoor toys and some things we let the kids play on our long road trips. They got their coloring stuff, got bubbles, glow sticks, cheapy little kites, all sorts of stuff that they'll have lots of fun with on our next big road trip coming up real soon. And a little kid tackle box. That's also where we keep our stockings. Doesn't really seem to fit with all the other stuff, but you know. And this next one we've got school stuff. So a must-have for every homeschooler, your own microscope. I don't let my kids play with my kitchen stuff. I think I'm just too picky. So for the girls, for all of their pretend play stuff for school, they have their own baking sheets and cake pans and stuff. But we're not doing anything with cooking right now, so that goes in the storage. I've got bowls, measuring cup, pitcher, a cash register, and then there's room to add plenty more stuff as we do more dramatic play units. And apparently I should have taken a picture of how this was all in here because I don't remember. Another way that we store things is in these collapsible bins that we got from Costco. So these nice little crates, when you need them, they pop up like this. When you don't, you just fold in the ends, collapse the sides, and they take up basically no room at all. But we need it right now, so let's fill it up. So in this container go our all-important Nerf guns and water guns. In our last black and yellow box, we've got just kind of some random stuff. We've got some electronics boxes that Cole's wanting to keep. The Truth in the Tinsel notebook that we do for Christmas. Some bigger toys that don't really go anywhere else. Don't fit in the kids' cabinets, but they go in here. There's extra space in here. I have a feeling that we're gonna need that as we continue to do some spring cleaning around here. So this is what it's looking like in there so far. We've got the 2 black and yellow ones, Haley's gymnastic stuff and the fishing poles, the black and yellow and black and red ones right there. The green one in the background there, I just put to see how far this black and yellow one needs to come out. I haven't actually loaded it up yet. I'll show you that in a minute. So that's what we've got so far. Next, we've got these big old tubs that you can find pretty much wherever. They're the rugged totes. These are used for my school supplies. I've got these handy dandy labels, and this one says miscellaneous because that's pretty much what it is. It's a bunch of dramatic play stuff for the little girls for school. So far we've done like a baking one and a birthday one, firehouse, that kind of thing. So we've got a bunch of different stuff, and that's what goes in here. Thankfully we reuse a lot of the stuff from different units over and over, so it's not like we have a whole new set for each thing. So I'm gonna stick that one in there. And the next one we've got more school stuff. So this one says kitchen supplies. It is some, and then some other stuff. This will have stuff for dramatic play as well, but it also have things for like foam cups and plastic cups and all that kind of stuff for different kinds of science experiments and stuff to measure with and all that kind of fun stuff, just depending on what we're doing for school. So that one goes in right on top of the other one. Once those are stacked up, I'm gonna turn them sideways so my next set can fit in. Next is my heaviest tote. Like I said, I love me some art. Love teaching the kids art. So this is my big box of awesome art supplies. I've got tempera paint, paintbrushes, acrylic paints, watercolors, air dry clay, pastels, all sorts of fun stuff in here. So this is my favorite box. This next box that looks like it's full of trash is full of trash. That's because the little girls have been studying about recycling, and so we've got trash in there for them to learn how to sort things into the different kinds of recycling and that kind of stuff. So this is their science bin. What it's filled up with just depends on what we're studying at the moment. Cole's nifty little kite just fits kind of in there wherever it can go. Next I've got my file box. It doesn't have files in it, it's craft supplies. So in here I've got like my foam sheets, curling ribbon. It has other random stuff like dominoes and stuff like that that we use for school as well. So craft supplies and games and stuff. This one that looks just like it has all my science supplies. So I've got gloves and beakers, pipettes, magnifying glasses, all that kind of stuff. That goes right on top. One thing that has really helped me out in school is doing my planning on Saturdays, making sure that I have all my supplies in the right place, and then I just pull out one box that's for that day of the week. It doesn't always fit all the stuff in there, but that's what these next boxes are. We do school Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday's our day to go do field trips and stuff like that. So I've got 4 boxes, one for each of the 4 days that we do school, and we'll put all the supplies that are necessary for that day in those. And apparently I did something wrong, so Cole's gonna help me fix it because he's the one who usually loads and unloads this thing, not me. So I did something wrong with where the boxes go.
Okay, so I think we just switched these things, so we'll just move it back. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I think.
Sweet, thank you.
You're welcome. Love you.
Cole to the rescue.
And I don't even have my Superman shirt on.
But we are matching Spider-Man shirts today. Doing this makes me realize we have a spot for another container for their Play-Doh. Because right now it's just in bags and that's no good. We'll get that soon. Then I've got my workout stuff, which I'm hoping I'll actually get to use at some point. And I think that's about it for this side. Now we're gonna go finish up the other side, but first let me show you what this looks like. So this is the side that we use more for tools and that kind of thing, so that's what we're gonna be putting in here. I've got the green box I was telling you about that I hadn't filled up yet. We'll fill that up in a minute, but first let me show you what we do with our hoses. Right now we're hooked up at a site, and so our main hose is connected, so we don't keep that in here most of the time. But we do have our heated water line that we use when it gets below freezing. So we have that one as well as this one. This is the one that Cole uses to flush out the tanks. We never want to get this mixed up with our fresh water line, so it's bright orange. So we hang that up on the utility hook that's in here. So that's what that looks like in there. In between the black and yellow bins goes Cole's recoil laser tag game, his screwdrivers. In this green box, we're gonna put just lots of random handyman car stuff. So we've got air filters, air filter recharges or something. The extra WD-40, one we need out at all times because you always need this. Tire shine stuff, bike repair stuff. All these cables that I don't know what they are. A tire pump because we hardly ever use it. We almost always use the Viair, but there it is just in case. Some less often used tools like Dremel. So that's what's gonna be in there. On top of that goes our bucket of extra toiletry stuff, our supplies for the truth and the tinsel, our lantern for tent camping, because even though we live in an RV, we still love to go tent camping and plan on doing that pretty often, especially in the national parks because our rig's too big to take in there. We also have the heater for the kids' room. We don't need that right now because it's spring. Besides that, we've got Cole's tools, the Viair, Connor's skateboard, and the girls' scooters. I think that's it. Lug nut wrench, forgot that one. A random board that I don't know why we have that. A random box of tools and stuff. I don't think that's how he had it in there. He's gonna have to fix it later. Apparently he should have done this part. Oh, and the dustbuster, which hopefully will get hung up in a place where I can charge all the time sometime in the future. That's it for this side. One last thing I forgot over here, Cole's tennis rackets. Just a bit of rearranging and it's all done. So that's all there is for us for organizing our outdoor storage. So I showed you those 3 main compartments that we have outside. We also have an outdoor kitchen, but I consider that more part of my kitchen, and so I didn't include that in this video. If you want to see that one, you can click here. But I also couldn't fail to mention the fact that we have a carrier on the back of our RV. So on our carrier, we carry our cooler, and the blue box is all the draping and stuff for our gazebo. This other box over here that looks like hamster bedding is hamster bedding. That's one of the sensory bins for our girls' school. Right now it has hamster bedding in it. And then possibly the most important, at least if you ask Cole, are the boards. And the boards are used for his hatchet target, which he carries everywhere with him, because hatchet throwing is apparently a really awesome dude sport. There's also a little table that goes back there, but Connor's using that at the moment, so that's not on there. So that's what we carry on our carrier. So that's what we do to organize our outdoor storage. Now I want to know, what do you do to organize all of that awesome space in your outdoor storage? I hope you enjoyed the video and it gave you some ideas for how you can organize your RV. Also, if you haven't joined the Younger Gang, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can be part of this amazing community. And check out some of our other videos right over there. So, trying to come up with great ideas to organize our RV and hoping it helps you out too? Well, that's just another way we're living younger every day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.